Hey, good evening, crypto traders. What a strange period it's been for crypto since, well, pretty much since early 22, late 21. We've been in a period of consolidation for most of 22, and then once we broke through the 36,500 level, you can see this gap here that will be filled at some point in the future. It's been a pretty much a landslide followed by a consolidation period, and the way I look at the market right now is that after such a sell-off and the market has consolidated without any real appetite for buyers or new buyers coming into the marketplace, once we broke such a key level here, we didn't really move back upwards with any aggression. So unfortunately, I don't like to say this, but I do feel that we're ready for another move lower. We might see a move higher just up in towards that 36,000 area here where this gap is, and then what we'll probably see is a move from there down and fill this gap through here. Now this gap through here around 24,000, 23,500, we fill this gap. Will we see buyers come in? Not necessarily. We could come down, flush the market, test those holders of Bitcoin that are still in the market right now and see if they really want to hold when the pressure and the tide is going against them. But for those of you that really do believe in the crypto space and Bitcoin, you know, this could be seen as an opportunity to start buying in at discounted prices. Then with the next sort of interested areas, the 2017 highs, which if I just go back to the weekly chart, you'll see that that was the previous all-time high back in 2017. Now remember, this is the futures market. This is why I'm looking at these particular gaps and the market to fill them. So like I said, this gap through here, when the market closed on that weekly candle here, it was what, 23,500. So I expect the market to come and close that gap before we have any appetite of new buyers. That also leads me on to the next kind of worrying fact for those of you in altcoins. If you haven't liquidated your positions or you don't have any yet, it's completely different sort of scenarios. If you do have altcoins and you're not liquidating because you believe in them, then I believe this sell-off with Bitcoin and Ethereum will obviously follow suit to some extent. It's going to be a great time to add into your portfolio. If you're worried at the extent of how much you've paper loss on your position, unfortunately I probably see it just only going to increase. You know, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I just see the market as being bearish, and I'm looking for the market to move lower to then start filling my boots with coins that I'm interested in. When will the altcoin market start to move is the major question. For the altcoin market will start to move, I believe, when we see this kind of thing happen. So we see the Bitcoin market take out a load of stops, get rid of a load of sellers, attract a lot of new buyers, and then we see this kind of dead cat bounce, and then we start to move. Now this is just for illustrative purposes. I'm not saying that the market's going down to 12,000. It might not even get to 20,000, but I expect it to come down, and then when we see the sharp reversal, buyers come in and that changing cycle, that's when I expect we'll start to see the rotation out of BTC, out of Ethereum, into taking some profits out and moving back into altcoins, and that's where we'll start to see that floodgates open and the bull market start to come back. So let's take a look at Ethereum, see where this market could potentially move to. Well, I'd want to see these wicks filled down here at 1725. We've already been pretty close to that, but like I said, the issue I have with this is Bitcoin still hasn't made its move yet. It hasn't closed or filled the gap. Therefore, I expect more downside on these other markets. So where could we potentially run down to? So just looking at where the fib levels that I've got drawn on here. So if this was our X, basically the swing high going down, impulsive move lower to the corrective move, then we're looking to see, right, where would the measured move, where would this same measured move of this first impulsive move down come to? And that would come down to this 100% marks at 817. Is that a little bit far? Who knows? With crypto, anything's possible. But I do quite like around the 1400, around the 1500 as a flush as people get stopped and weak holders liquidate their positions as 1700 breaks. So that'll be what I'll be watching for. Limit orders in and around 1400. Looking to start adding to portfolio in and around 1400, and as it falls I'll look to add more. So that's going to be the play with Ethereum. Moving down to FTM, around 18 cents is where I'll be looking, 16, 17 cents through here. So maybe we can get a little bit of a relief rally, and then one more push lower, and I'll be looking to take some opportunities within FTM. But again, if we see a big drop on BTC and Ethereum, the altcoins will get severely punished, more so than we're seeing on those major markets. Solana, another market I'm very interested in. We can see that this market has made a low, lower high, and a strong move down. We could potentially get a push up into 78 before another move down. If we do get, as I mentioned earlier, if we do get that little gap closed on BTC up to around 36,000, we could see a brief bear rally on these altcoins, which, you know, essentially could give you an opportunity to exit, take some profit off the table, or de-risk a little bit. If we were to break through there, then I'd be looking to add in, and maybe the crypto space turns profitable, bullish again. But you know, these are things I'm just looking at from a technical perspective, and I would only be looking and expecting these markets to move in that fashion when we've seen buyers come into the market on Bitcoin or Ethereum. But I'm looking at $20 as a potential limit order. I can't see any reason why we wouldn't get down in towards this kind of price point should BTC head down to the prices I'm thinking of. I'm going to take a look at Atom as well, because Atom's a market I do like, but it's at a very, very interesting price point right now. So you can see the grey zone, this is highlighted. Now obviously the story is the same across all markets. If BTC is going to close that gap, then unfortunately that means for Atom holders, this market is dropping lower. Whether we come into the $4.5, $5 barrier, that'll be one where I'll be definitely looking to add into this market, you know. And these are such fantastic discounted prices. You look at this, if you can get in around $5, going back to the previous all-time highs, you're talking roughly in around 900% gain. So for every $5,000 invested, you're talking a 45,000 return. Excuse me guys. Right, sorry about that. Coughing fit is now over. Ah dear, the joys of a bit of summer flu. Wonderful. So what other markets are we looking at? One that I always get asked about, because it does seem to have a huge following, is Cardano. So looking at ADA as its ticker code. Now unfortunately the followers for Cardano, it has broken pretty much all structural levels. So if we were to just drop in some structure points right now, last major structure point that we've broken through up at 77 cents. This huge wick down here is probably the next stop before we get to 34 cents, and then breaking that we're coming all the way down to 13 cents. So unfortunately Cardano is looking very, very weak, but like the other markets, if we get a rally up into 78 cents, day traders, and we get any sort of rejection here, I definitely happily look at shorting opportunities from here, but be aggressive, because we do know that crypto can spin very, very fast either way. I'm not a seller of cryptos, I only look to buy, and especially as we're coming into some seriously discounted rates for some of these markets. Okay, well I think that's going to finish up for us today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed that short little video. If you want me to look at any particular cryptos from a technical perspective, please comment below and I'll be doing that for you in coming videos. Have a good night guys, and we'll speak soon. Bye bye.